Hey, welcome back. So today I wanted to do a movie review which was requested by one of you guys, leaving me a request in the comments. It's the movie Creed. Now this is a movie directed by Ryan Coogler. He's a pretty new director out there, but he has done some pretty cool stuff. In fact, he has impressed enough people that he is now going to be doing the Black Panther movie for Marvel, which I think is going to be an awesome move. If you haven't seen Creed, I would highly recommend seeing this, especially if you are a fan of the Rocky movie series. The movie Creed stars Michael B. Jordan and also has Sylvester Stallone in it. Now it's a story about Apollo Creed's son. He has a boy that basically grew up on the wrong side of life. He was in foster care. He ended up in juvie because he was always getting into fights. He was I guess you can say this was a son that Apollo Creed had in one of his affairs. You know, being a boxer and a superstar, you have that, I guess. But he's still a son, and he gets a second chance when he was a little boy by Apollo Creed's wife, like the one that we know from the Rocky series. She took him in when he was a boy and raised him up, educated and just to have a better life than the direction he was going, because when she found him, he was already in juvie. So this story centered around him, the boy Apollo Creed, which goes by a different name. He goes by his mother's maiden name, but he still has the Creed name. He has the fighting blood in him. He has what Apollo Creed had, and he would always find other ways to get that out, and I guess that's probably why he was in trouble as a kid. As an adult, he had a career. He finished college, but he still went and did little fight matches, back alley matches on the side, because it's almost like that's really what he wants to do. Now, what I really liked about the movie was, I'm a big Rocky fan to begin with, so this attracted me right away, and I really like a lot of the old Rocky stuff into this movie. It almost felt like a Rocky movie, but from Apollo Creed's perspective, or his son's perspective. So you get a lot of the same feel where he's just trying to work to earn his keep and to show people that he is better than what other people think he may be, and so on. So it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of heart. It's got a lot of feelings as far as the emotional things that happen to him. He gets close to Rocky. Rocky at first obviously doesn't want to really have anything to do with fighting anymore. He's retired. He's lost his wife. He's moved on. He's just running a restaurant and just trying to do what he can until it's his time to go. He comes into the picture and convinces Rocky to help him out. I like the dynamic between the two. I think Sylvester Stallone, he's a good actor in certain movies. I mean, sure, he's your typical action hero. He actually does really good in this. He did good in the Rocky movies. He does good in this, in the dramatic roles. I like him. And just that relationship, it's almost like a father-son relationship that they have. And I like that about this movie too. I like that relationship that he has with Apollo Creed's son. Yeah, they're not blood related or anything, but he still feels like he should help him because he's Apollo's son, and he was really close to Apollo. And I wonder, maybe, I think he still feels guilty that Apollo died. He had an opportunity to save him, even though Apollo told him not to save him if it came down to it. But I still think that Rocky has that inside that he should have. And maybe that's what brings him to the decision of, training Apollo's son here. He does a lot of you get a lot of the old Rocky training montages and all that into this movie. So, but it is still a different story. Yes, there's a lot of similarities, I thought, with this and the Rocky movies, but Ryan, the director, he really brought in some new things into it that I really ended up liking. Just his way of storytelling. Now, I understand that Ryan actually wrote the story, approached Sylvester Stallone about it, and said, hey, I've got this idea of a new story. We need you in it, but we're going a different direction. And that's the story that Rocky, or Sylvester Stallone, I think he really liked it, and it's like, yeah, let's do this. So there is a lot of Rocky in this movie, which is fine with me. But again, the movie it's a little slow. I mean, it's a drama, I think. It's got some action when they fight, but it's more of a serious movie. Again, it really has a lot of Rocky bits and pieces that you feel from this movie. So those are the things that I like. What I didn't like about the movie, very little things actually. There are more positives than negatives in this movie, to be honest. The slower parts of the movie, when you get to know Apollo's son a little better, his relationship with this girl that he meets, those kind of parts, like, I don't know that, I mean, they're important, I guess, to show that he has a life and he's trying to build a life outside of boxing. But I don't know that it was important for this movie. But again, it wasn't a big deal to me really in the end. But if I was to pick a negative of that, that's really one of the things I would be like, that relationship, like, whatever, they threw it in there and I know why, and it's okay, but it really, and that's a minor negative for me. I don't want to spoil any of this, so that's why I'm going to try and give you as much info, but because there are some things that happen in this movie that I really liked. I really liked how it ended. It's not your typical Rocky, and I know that if you see Rocky Balboa, that wasn't your typical Rocky ending, but it was a great ending, and I thought it was good. It definitely set it up for a sequel. I mean, I think they want to have a new franchise with this Creed movie, so why not? And there was a time in the movie when I thought something was going to happen, and I'm like, that sucks. But then when we got to the end, I'm like, it didn't. And I'm like, okay, we're good. And so I think there's more positive than negatives in this movie for me. So I think that you should watch it. If you haven't seen any of the Rocky movies, do that for sure. Then watch this movie because a lot of it will make sense. They draw back to a lot of the original movies. Watch it because you got some great acting, awesome acting. I think that's what sold it the most for me. That's why I ended up liking it as much as I did. Some great fighting. Some of the things that I like that Ryan Coogler, the director, did with this movie, he's got long take, and I don't know about you, but I really like that because it's almost like watching a movie live and they can't mess up, because if they do, they have to do it all over again. And he does these long takes, like they'll follow the fighter from his locker room to the ring, or just scenes that it's a one take shot, and I really enjoy it. I love these one take things. And James Bond did that recently in his latest movie. They did something similar. Ryan Coogler did it really well. There's a part here where he follows him from the locker to the ring, and then into the ring, and then around the ring as he's fighting. So they start going at it right there. No edits. I love that. I thought that was really cool. Can you imagine though? Okay, cut. Let's go back to one. They got to go all the way to the back, redo everything, and then go back in there. I mean, that stuff was awesome. So go watch it. There's some good acting, good scenes like that, long one take. Good direction. That really made the movie. Ryan Coogler's got a great future ahead of him. Michael B. Jordan, great actor. The other places you may have seen him was Friday Night Lights, Fantastic Four, which didn't do well, but he did awesome in this, and I think that's why you're gonna be seeing him in other movies. All right, I hope that you like this. I hope that I got a sense of what Creed is and how I enjoyed it, and let me know what you thought. Have you seen it? What did you think of Creed? What things didn't you like of Creed? So let me know in the comments below what you thought. If you're new, please subscribe. I think it's great that I can reach so many people. I love the comments that you guys leave me in my other reviews, and I hope to keep improving these videos. There's so many new things that I'm trying to tweak and learn and do different so I can make these videos better. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know, because I'd love to hear from you. And again, thanks for watching this today, and I hope that you're watching movies, because I know I am.